Okay, we're gonna try this again. So, quick battery change. Stopped on the side of the road, whipped up some coffee. The hotel coffee was absolutely miserable. So, got us a cup. We're good to go. Back on dirt, air down, and we're gonna give this thing another go. So, weather, 60s. Sunshine, chance of rain later today. We'll see how that goes. But overall, it looks like it's going to be a good day after the complete bust yesterday. Like I said, we had to drive all over creation and ended up in a hotel and eating at a Denny's, which was not half bad. But we'll check in with you again later on once we get a little further down the trail. We'll do another fireside chat tonight. Let you know how the day before went and get you all caught up. So, all right, that's it for now. We'll check in with you later. All right, try this again. So it's night 4. Didn't do this last night. We had a few hiccups yesterday.
We'll get there. We'll get there. First, we got to talk about Monday night, because Monday night, Mark whips out the Dutch oven, takes out a pork tenderloin, dices it. Well, doesn't dice it. Slices it up into cutlets. Throws some apples, some onion, brown sugar, garlic powder. Sage. This thing is braised in the Dutch oven. Finishes it off with some bourbon and some brown sugar. It was phenomenal. It had a side of garlic mashed potatoes. We ate like kings by the campfire Monday night. Now, yes, last night.
Yeah, last night was another story. So the day started out pretty good. We got up, we had breakfast. I don't even remember what we had.
We broke camp early.
Yeah,
we broke camp early. Yeah.
And headed down the road. Finally got on Rim Road. We got a few miles down there, and then the ruts in that road, it was unbelievable. It looked like tank ruts. I bottomed the Jeep out I don't know how many times.
Yeah, you're just trying to help plow the road a little bit, right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
So we got through that, and got through the ruts. Thought we were finished with that. Started going up a trail. And where it crosses the boundary into the Indian reservation.
It's already late in the day. We're we passed our original idea for a campground because it was a little too early. And said, all right, let's go to the next one. And then we hit a damn gate.
Yeah, a locked gate.
Locked gate. No entry. Do not enter.
So that incurred another trip through the ruts. Bottomed out the Jeep a few more times.
That one wasn't as bad, though. That one wasn't as bad.
But it did incur a 40-mile detour.
And backtrack.
We backtracked. We detoured. We got back on the road. Drove around. Picked out another campsite. Went to that campsite. Lower log campsite.
Looked like a great site, too. But, man, their system is messed up.
So we had a cell signal, which was unusual. So we get down there, and it's already close to 6 o'clock by this time, and there's no pay station. There's no attendant. Great site, but so we decided to Google it, and sure enough, you got to get your permits at some casino hotel run by the Indian reservation,
We
which
passed it. I mean, we
happens
did
to
pass
be
it.
20 miles in the opposite direction. So at that point, we kind of threw in the towel. Headed back to Sholo, Arizona.
Quality Inn.
Quality Inn or Comfort Inn.
Comfort Inn. That's
Comfort
right.
Inn.
Sorry, Quality Inn.
Yeah.
Don't mean to knock you guys.
Yeah, Comfort Inn and Denny's was on the agenda for last night. So the good part of that, is we got a shower, got a decent night's sleep, more or less.
Yeah, but the headache part was my dash lit up like a Christmas tree. Hitting ruts
yes.
in all day, getting our teeth jarred in, and then we're heading into this campground. It was a washboard road, and all of a sudden my dash lit up like a Christmas tree. What were the errors? ABS control, traction control, service 4-wheel drive, and I'm hundreds of miles from home. I'm thinking this is not good. But Mark, the mechanic here, we've two things we found. One was a good chunk of mud was lodged up by the speed sensor, and the wire was knocked off its kind of guidepost, I guess you'd call it.
It's clamped. Yeah.
Clamp. And then the second thing is we rattled all the relays out. I mean, so we reseated some relays, and then I don't know, 5 miles down the road, they all went out.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're good to go. No issues today. Drove like a champ. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun, crawling around under the Jeep in the Denny's parking lot in the dark.
Yeah.
But we got her done. So,
Fixed.
and then the good news in all that, though, is we got an early start this morning.
And I think we need to talk about, we spent quite a bit of time planning this trip, right?
Oh,
Meticulously putting the route together, kind of scouting general areas for campsites using Google Earth and the All Trails app and several other apps to try to find campsites. So we had what we thought was a solid plan. Fuel stops planned, and one lock gate really threw a monkey wrench into the trip. Yeah.
yeah, that was...
Just kind of, you got to be prepared for the unexpected and just roll with it. Today was epic. Epic day today.
It was an epic day today. So we got an early start. We got out of there. It was probably 8 o'clock when we hit the road this morning.
Yeah, it was exactly at 8.
And we had, I don't know, 45 minutes or so till we got on dirt.
Yeah, we stopped and made some coffee just as we got to the trailhead because the hotel coffee was horrible. It was horrible. Absolutely the worst coffee. So we coffeed up, and then the first part of the morning, that run was just beautiful. It was easy roads, nothing. I mean, it was 2-wheel drive. Honda could have done it.
Yeah, it was great.
Beautiful views, just spectacular. Interesting turn, a little bit later in the day.
Yeah. So the first turnoff we got, we're thinking it's going to be just another forest road. And we stopped and we saw the sign that said, warning, road is impassable during high water. We're like, okay, what does that mean?
We're at 8,000 feet. You're thinking to yourself, okay, well, how much can it be flooding this high?
Yeah, how high can water be at 8,000 feet? Well, the road, I do have some footage. The bumper cam, I hooked that up. But we went through basically a stream bed where the snow melt runoff it was still wet. There was still water running.
Still snow on the ground at certain points along the side of the road.
So we got through that, and that was pretty...
It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah,
it was technical, somewhat technical, but it was fun.
You definitely needed a little clearance there.
So we got to the top, and then went on a little bit further, went through a burn scar, which I think I got some clips of that as well.
Yeah, I lesson learned. I put the GoPro on the bumper, and apparently my battery died as soon as I got back in the Jeep. So I don't have some really of the gnarliest part of it. But yeah, it was a cool run. Not too much bigger than a Jeep's going to get through there. Some of the clearances were so tight.
It was crazy.
Tight. I know I got some more pinstripes.
Yeah, a few pinstripes. I did test my breakover angles several times and slid over the top of a few of the obstacles, which kind of got my attention the first time I did it. But it was fun nonetheless, and no damage, a few scrapes maybe, but that's about it. Fortunately, it was all soft. It was dirt.
It was a great. I mean, it wasn't too crazy. Nothing that got you worried about breaking your Jeep. It was just tight, twisty, turny, sharp, hairpin turns with steep elevation climbs. It was fun.
Yeah,
It was a fun run.
Yeah. So and we got here. This site actually, and I'll pan around when we're done yakking at the camera here. But this site is actually a site we stayed at last year. I think it was the first or second night last year. Yeah. First night we stayed here.
Saw hunt frog.
Yep,
right there.
So I'm sure I shared some of the photos with you, and we're set up pretty much the same way. Jeeps are in a little different spot, but I think the tents are almost in the exact spots they were last year.
Close to it. Yeah.
But I'll pan around so you can see before we close off. But the site we had picked is across the highway, probably basically a mile as the crow flies from here. But we've never been there, and so when we turned in here, we were like, all right, I've got this pinned, let's go ahead and try it.
We didn't account for the hour time difference.
Yeah, that kind of threw us for a loop. So we figured we'd be at camp around 3:30. Of course, when we crossed into New Mexico a little while ago, time changed back. So now it's 4:30 when we pulled into the campsite, which is fine. I mean, we were set up within 45 minutes and ready to go. Now we just got to split some wood and get a fire going. And it does look like it might rain on us a little bit tonight.
We had some rain today.
A few little sprinkles. It did rain on us quite a bit today, off and on. Made things interesting. But should be a pretty decent night. Low, what did you say, 40s?
Yeah, low 40s, I think. We might be a little higher elevation here. I think we're, what did I say, 8,100 feet?
81 or 8,400, something like that. So a little over 8,000. So, but that's pretty much the last couple days. I know this is kind of a long chat, but had a lot to catch you up on.
Yeah.
So we're gonna split some wood, get some fire going, and
we'll talk to you later.
Yeah,
sounds good.
All right. Filled up the water at the ranger station, and now we are heading south from Reserve, New Mexico, heading to our next trail and campsite. Probably got about a 50 or 60 mile run today, so should be a good day. Weather, it's holding out so far. We had some light rain this morning and last night, nothing big, but today we got a 30% chance of rain. Should be a pretty good day today. That's waving to us on the side. But yeah, last night it was chilly. We were up later than we usually are because of the time change, and then got up around 7 this morning, got broke down, had some breakfast, and it was a good night. It was a good night. So anyway, that's where we're at for today. I will check in with you guys later on the trail, do another chat tonight, catch you up on what goes on in the day, give you some clips of what we went through, and we will talk with you guys later on today. Okay, the rain has stopped. It's starting to clear up a little bit. We pulled in here right around 5 o'clock. It was raining like crazy, and so we set the tarp up. We kind of waited till the rain let up a little bit, and then we set the tents up. I'll go ahead and do a walk around and show you how the camp's set up, and then we're gonna make some fajitas, and then we'll do our little fireside chat. So here, let me rotate this around. Here's where we came in. Tents under the trees, which will protect us from some of the rain at least. And the two vehicles, typical setup, side by side. And I'll come around this side. We actually did get a fire started. All the wood's stored in the back of the Jeep, so it doesn't get wet if it rains again. But so far it's working out. Building up some coals for the Dutch oven. And Chef Mike is going to do the fajitas tonight.
Gonna try anyways.
Yeah. And you can see the formal dining room under the tarp there. That is my contraption that I come up with a couple trips ago when I was out solo camping in the rain. But I have to say, it works quite well.
It works really well.
So we'll be sitting under there for our little fireside chat tonight, provided there's enough light. And here's my tent, as usual. Mike's, and the campsite even comes equipped with creepy skulls. What do you think of that? And some creepy bones. So that's it for now. We're gonna whip up some supper, and we'll be back with you in a little while. Hey, so good evening. It's late. It's almost 9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock.
Had a great day. Slept good last night. Wasn't too cold at all. I mean, it was cold.
40, maybe 40. I think it was when we got up. Yeah, it was a little chilly, but it was good. Good night's sleep. Good sleeping weather.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it really was.
So, and then from there we packed up, had a light breakfast, and headed into reserve to tank up, and then headed south. It was a great run. I mean, early on it was just a drive in the
Service
woods.
road, yeah, it was easy, and then you had to pick out a goat trail.
Yeah, I'm good for that.
Yeah.
So we part of the trail that was on our route turned out to be another burn scar, which was quite an adventure. It was a good run. I mean, it really was. It was tight, a lot of tight turns.
Someone had been doing a lot of clearing of the trail. There's lots of trees that were cut. They were cut just wide enough so you could squeak through.
Yeah.
Got a few skid marks on the tires. And then we had the one tree that was blocking our path, and we had to detour there.
Yep, had to detour. That was, well, on the map it was maybe 6 or 7 miles. I think in reality it was more like 20
easy.
something.
Yeah, all the back and forth and twists and turns, but we just couldn't go around the tree. We would have ripped up that stream bed, and it wouldn't have been the tread lightly kind of ethos that we follow.
Yep. So, and that turned out to be, not a bad detour. Like I said, it was interesting. And we got through that and got back on trail, which was, again, a goat trail, up and over, ridge after ridge. And then we're getting towards the end of it, and of course it started to rain.
Hail.
Got hail. Yeah.
Hail.
Things got very interesting.
Yeah. From a route planning perspective, you lay it out on paper, it wasn't that far.
No, it wasn't.
But when you look at the mileage, we probably did 100 miles today.
Very close to 100 miles today. Yep.
It's crazy.
But, it was a great trail. It really was. I mean, every time we come to Gila National Forest, it's just a great time.
It's fantastic here. It's just beautiful.
So,
and tomorrow's we go in through to Chloride Canyon, kind of the we're in Chloride Canyon now, I think, or
excuse me, we're in Chloride Canyon now, or Chloride Canyon Road.
Yeah. But we go into the woods. The first time we went to Gila, this place was just magical. It was awesome. And so last year it was all torn up with all the weather they had here. So this year we're really looking forward to going to that part of the forest, because it was just gorgeous, Yeah,
so
we saw some elk today, a lot of elk.
Yep, a lot of elk.
Wild boar, or javelina, whatever it was.
Yeah, there was a whole
family.
Yep.
So it was a good day.
It was a really good day. Of course, we got here and it was raining, and we set up the tarp, which I don't know if you can see it on camera. We're sitting under a tarp off the back of the Jeep.
Lifesaver.
And
we waited out the rain and then pitched the tents.
Yeah, and we should be good for the night. We got a fire going. Well, we had a fire going.
It just went out.
So we'll have to stoke it. But we're going to be up for a little bit longer, and we're going to call it a night and do it all over again tomorrow. So hopefully we get some good video today. There wasn't a lot today due to the rain. It seemed like every time we thought about doing something, it was either rain or a giant mud puddle that we had to traverse or something crazy. But hopefully we got some good ones today, and we'll get some more tomorrow, and we'll do this again.
Have a good night.
All right. Night.
Going to Wally with Lima, 500 feet.
Wow. All right, so we are on the move again. It is day 6 now, and had a great night last night. Weather was great. Sorry if this camera is shaking. I'm holding it instead of on the mount. But yeah, we're going to our last campsite. Should be about another 40-50 mile run today. Hopefully we'll get some good footage on the way. Weather is great. Rained like crazy last night, but today it's looking a lot better. So that's pretty much where we're at. We will check back in with you later. right, here we are, night 6, 5th night camping. It's getting dark, so I want to do this real quick. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but I want to do a quick walk around, and then we're going to do our fireside chat here. There we go, lighting's better. We'll do our fireside chat here in a little while. We just finished eating, had beef kebabs and noodles and pasta and cheese. It was really good. But I'll give you a quick walkabout before it gets completely dark and you can't see, and then we'll get to it. So, little stream, kind of running through a lot of water today. We'll talk about that later. But that's the road coming in, stream bed, if you will. Here's our views. And like I said, it's getting dark, so hopefully this comes out. And the vehicles, as usual, side by side, lined up. Over here we got a cliff, so our campsite's kind of in a little cutout in the hillside, which is kind of cool. We'll walk through, just see what we got going. What caught our eye was this giant fire pit. It was kind of big, so that's kind of a bonus. It's working out pretty well. And then, of course, we got our tents under the cottonwood, and getting ready to do our dinner dishes.
Dish time.
And then we're going to hang out for the night. So like I said, once we get done cleaning up and getting situated, get our camp shoes on, then we'll have our little chat and tell you how the day went. All right, here we are, take number 4, night 6, 5th night camping, 6th night overall. We're in Chloride Canyon. It's about, what time is it?
It's 5 till 9.
5 till 9.
Yeah.
So we finished dinner, did our dishes, and now we're just sitting around the fire for about an hour before we pack it in for the night. But yeah, it was just amazing trip, amazing day today. It was, you know, we saw a lot of different terrain today.
Yeah, you know, it's Chloride Canyon is absolutely gorgeous. This is our second time running the canyon. The first time we came in from Winston. This time we're exiting from Winston. We planned this trip for last year, and the canyon was closed, and clearly you can tell that they had all sorts of issues, and I'm guessing it was flood water or runoff. So the trail's kind of a little misconfigured than it was last time. But absolutely gorgeous. I mean, Chloride Creek runs through the canyon, and if we crossed the creek once, we must have crossed it 30 times. I mean, and then ran in it, and it's not a raging river or anything. It's a trickle, but you know, there's a couple spots that that were of interest. But it's just beautiful through here, and it's our second time, and we'll definitely be doing it again.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Sure.
I mean, the day started off. Well, you know, last night obviously it was raining. We were under the tarp. This morning was clear skies, cold. It was probably high 30s, low 40s. But as soon as the sun came up, the temperature just took off. So that was good. I mean, it actually got hot today.
The sun was brutal today. You felt like you were getting baked.
I mean, we pulled in here, what, 4:30,
Yeah.
and it was probably almost 80 degrees.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But, you know, the day started out pretty good. You know, we were about a mile or so off trail to get a campsite last night, so we had to get back on trail, which went pretty smooth. I mean, we were on dirt.
No, for 2 days straight, really, we aired up once today for a very short haul on hardtop. And then we were aired right back down. So really 2 full days of And I can't say we saw a few folks. We had waved at a few folks as we passed by, but pretty much 2 full days off road, if you will. And the last 2 days were fantastic. I mean, it was, yeah, it's fun to drive a Jeep. I love it because I mean it takes you anywhere, and yeah, it's crazy. It just goes.
It's amazing what these things will negotiate. I mean, and you'll see some of the clips. It's just, this morning it was a forest road, then it turned into hill climbing, and then it turned into slalom run through the trees, which I tried to take out my GoPro with one tree. Hopefully I got that on film. That was interesting. And then back down some rocks, and then that valley with the pastures in it.
Oh, absolutely beautiful going through there. Yeah, I mean, yeah. This area is just, and it's been here a couple of times, and we still have barely cracked it. I think. Lots of different trails to hit here.
Hundreds of miles of trails in here.
It's just beautiful, and yeah, it's the one thing about the Jeep is you're glad it has the shorter wheelbase, even though we have the 4 doors, because there was a couple of spots that it was. I mean, I scuffed the back tires coming around not so many times it wasn't funny.
Tried to take the tree down with him, but
I did take the tree down.
It's all good. He cleared it out of my way, so that was good.
That was good.
And then of course that valley we went through there, hit some mud puddles, just beautiful scenery. Mud puddles were ripe, a lot of cow manure, but then when we got into the canyon proper, we crossed Chloride Creek
30 times. I mean, it
had to been
literally just going back and forth,
just zigzagging
through the creek and up the bank, and it was. It's a fun trip, and we saw Toyota come up here, so it's not like it's not super technical or anything like that, but it's fun.
It's a fun ride.
It's a fun ride. You don't worry about breaking something per se. There's a few spots. That kind of got interesting, but other than that, it was just a great week, right? I mean, we started off Schnebly Hill and Hidden Rim Road, and we saw all sorts of different terrain. We had a detour, but that's part of it, right? And
that's
so
part of the game.
In the last, today we had no detours. We had, we went through several gates and closed them behind us as necessary, and did what we needed to do. But it was a great week to get outside and connect with a little bit with the outdoors. Catching up with you was always good.
It was great.
Saw some wildlife. We got little coyote, I think, today. Lots of elk, lots of deer, turkey, boar or javelina or something. I'm not a wildlife expert.
No, it was. We saw stuff every day, right across something. Hopefully, we got some of it on video.
We got 6 hours or so of video.
At least 6 hours. I mean, there's so much that we saw, so much that we filmed that there's a lot that won't get into the final cut just because there's too much. I mean,
I don't know what the ratio is, right? How many hours of video comes into 15 minutes? But man, we got a lot of clips to go through.
We do. We have a horrendous amount.
Might take a while, but it was fun. Like I said, this is this is one of my favorite trips we've done.
It is.
And I love Big Bend. That's my home state, and I love Big Bend. But this trip was spectacular, and every day we had something that was just like, holy cow, look at that.
Yep. Every day, and so hopefully we'll get some of your pictures into the.
Yeah, I didn't take a whole lot of stills, and I'm watching the clouds. I may try to do a star, kind of focus on the North Star and try to do a rotation of that. But I don't know. I'm not real comfortable leaving my camera out all night. So.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But no, that's pretty much it. This is our last night. Tomorrow we're gonna head out. We're only a couple miles from the edge of the forest, so we'll head out towards Winston and either gas up there or gas up in Truth or Consequences, and then head to Amarillo. We'll spend the night, and then that'll be a full day's drive for us, and then
split up Sunday
morning.
You go north, I go south.
Yep. and then we'll start planning the next one.
Colorado.
Colorado sounds like a plan.
Colorado in the fall. Yeah, the Rim Road Adventure was great. It was, we planned meticulously. I think we checked every box that we thought we needed, and we still felt that we probably got a little too aggressive with our drive times between.
I think so. Yeah, because
sites.
there were some long days. Long days.
And while on a map it doesn't look very far, sometimes you forget that you're stuck doing 10 miles an hour down a rocky road, if you will, and you don't go very far in a couple of hours.
No,
so.
Some sections. 2 hours and you've gone 10 miles, if that.
Crazy.
Other sections you can blow right through at 30 miles an hour, but this canyon is truly something to see.
Worth the trip.
And
camping's a little tight to find in this part of the canyon.
Yep.
A little bit further in, it's a better. We were trying to get close to the edge so we can book out tomorrow. And you're in a canyon, right? So there's not a whole lot of flat ground. So, yeah. What can you do?
We lucked out with this one, though.
Yeah.
So it worked out good. So.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for tonight. Like I said, we may check in when we're in Amarillo. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Sounds good. We'll see you hopefully in Colorado in August.
Yep. See you on the next trip.